Good morning, good day, good evening, wherever you are, Kasmiley. Welcome, dear friends, to another topic. It is sensitive to discuss, but a must. This is my personal views on the matter, though, and it does not reflect truth to everyone. Siyempre, kanya-kanya tayo ng opinion. So, iba ang opinion ninyo, iba ang opinion ko. So, my topic is kids should be retirement funds. Tama po ba? Do you agree or disagree, Kasmiley? Marami na akong napapanood at nababasa sa social media or nadidinig kahit saan tungkol sa paksang ito. Conflicting arguments actually. Some parents say, dapat lang kasi buwis buhay ako nung pinagpuntis kita. Ipinanganak at nagkakanda-kuba-kuba para maitaguyod ang pag-aaral mo. Kami ng tatay mo. On the point of view ng mga anak naman, they say, we didn't ask to be born, and it is your responsibility as parents to do that. Napakaraming mga nagkakasalungat na argumento, kaya napapaisip tuloy ako kung karapat dapat bang magbayad ang mga anak ng utang na loob sa kanilang mga magulang. Please watch until the end because we might get some information that we could apply, Kasmiley. When cultural concept of utang na loob, which translate to debt of gratitude, becomes toxic, it can lead to unhealthy family dynamics. So, kailan nga ba nagiging toxic? Number one, turns parenting and love into a transaction. So ito, yung lahat ng paghihirap, pagmamahal, expenses of the parents should be returned by the child or the children. Number two, used as emotional blackmail. Marami tayong nadidinig. So, guilt-tripping to serve parents' interest. So, example would be, after all that I have done for you, if you love me, you should do this. Or, mamamatay na ako, hindi mo pa ako pinagbigyan sa gusto ko. At marami pang iba. Number three, it becomes toxic when there are no personal boundaries. Siyempre, yung mga bata, they cannot say no, even if it is very harmful or stressful to them. And number four, it becomes toxic when there is no open communication because children are afraid to voice out their concerns. Because when they try to speak, they receive comments such as, wala kang utang na loob. Or, magulang mo ako, dapat ako lang ang palaging masusunod. Diba? Or marami pang iba. Don't get me wrong, Kasmiley. I once thought the same thing. Maybe because it was the mindset of when I was growing up. And it was a normal thing to say back then. Even when I was in college, I applied as a working scholar while studying because I didn't want to burden my parents. Even during my earlier professional years, I always considered giving back to my parents. However, experience taught me that it should be considered as an option. Optional, ika nga. As I was recalling what my parents used to say back then, may God rest their soul, they used to say in our own dialect when I give them something, alaan mi na, salamat, ngembaken da kapilpilitan ay mangidawat. Tanwada abo din responsibility sin pamilyam. Sometimes they also say, latun, wada pay laeng, usalem et sin pamilyam. Or they lovingly request, no sumaa kayo kunyan, manlako kayo si San Nicolas, or what we call bread. Okay. These phrases, when used in a loving and respectful manner, can foster a strong sense of family unity and mutual support. And it's true, my parents never obliged me to give them back. They were more shy when they couldn't help it and asked, no wada ko di sobrang isayan, bumuludak, tan waday lakuak. And if I have something to give them, I give them. No questions asked. But if I don't have it, I tell them straight, I don't have it, I'm sorry, and they understood. Now, being a professor in college, I've heard many students share how stressed they were because of the burden of what their parents expect from them. And this can lead to lack of motivation for their studies and can affect their mental health. I understand their struggles, and my heart goes out to all of them. So here's my take on this particular topic, Kasmiley. For me, when I talk to my children, I always tell them, as your parents, it is our responsibility to attend to your needs while you are still dependent. We will support you throughout your studies until you graduate, find a job, and then have a family. As my parents did to me, I'll apply the same thing to you. If you like to give, we will accept it. But it is optional. It is never a responsibility. Second, the Philippines is known to be family-oriented. And there's nothing I would love more than being with my children, even in an old age. Being sent to a nursing home is a no-no for me. So if our children already have a family, I wouldn't force them to stay or take care of us because they have their responsibilities too. However, the concept of utang na loob often leads adult children to feel a strong sense of duty towards their aging parents, which can influence their caregiving decisions. That is why we always assure our children that when that time comes, we could always hire someone willing to take care of us in our home, not in the nursing home. Hence, we must save for that purpose. That for me, okay, is my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, Kasmiley. Now, in conclusion, utang na loob and family-oriented are not bad. They are not bad things so long as the terms are not abused. So I give the toxicity earlier, and now I would like to give some pointers or advice for you, Kasmiley, especially for the parents and even children as well. First, when we do things for our children out of love, we should not expect anything in return. Second, never guilt trip or let your child feel sorry to make them do your bidding. And third, respect your child's boundaries. We feel bad when we know others are overstepping our boundaries. So why won't it be any different with our children? Fourth, communication. And it's really open communication. Always find time to communicate with your children. Have an open mind, Kasmiley, and be sure that both sides can be heard. And, of course, do not stop there until there is a resolution or a compromise. Kasi syempre, mahabang usapan yan. And sometimes, yung mga iba, they always or they tend to give up midway. So do not forget, you have to finish what you have started. Okay? There should be a resolution or maybe meeting halfway or compromising. So this is crucial for maintaining healthy and dynamics and understanding each other's perspective, ladies and gentlemen. So, I do hope that you have learned something from my sharing, ladies and gentlemen. And inuulit ko, opinion ko ito. It does not necessarily reflect the opinion of others. Okay? So, thank you very much sa pakikinig and panunood, Kasmiley. Until next time.